Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Now I get asked a question pretty often, which is how do I go about making replacement stickers for toys? So today I'm going to show you how to do this. In front of me you can see I have Photoshop open, and in it I have two images of a penny racer called Buggy Bunny, or Bunny Buggy, sorry. Now this is a toy that I have with no stickers on, and I've done a quick search on Google, and these are two images I found showing what the stickers should look like. So from this we are now able to sort of get a guide and work out what we need to make. So the first thing we're going to make is the little sticker that goes on the back of Bunny Buggy. Now I've measured my toy and I know that it is fairly simple size. So this is an oblong size. We're going to do this at 300 dots per inch sort of a resolution, as you can see there, and the size of this file needs to be 1.2 centimeters by 0.85, and that should make it match the exact size of the original sticker on the back of the toy. So if I make that file, so now that we have that, we can start constructing the sticker. So we need it to be a rough, it's sort of a yellow, well, what is it? It's sort of greeny blue color. So I'm going to use the color picker just to pick that color off the original background sticker, and then I'm going to modify it slightly just to make it a bit brighter, because I think it needs to be a little bit brighter, and then we can fill the background of this image. So that's the first part done. Now I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to construct this black oblong, which you can see doesn't really go to the full extent on one side, it's just off to one side. So there's that black oblong. Now we need to make the font. Now finding the correct fonts for these old toys is pretty hard. Sometimes they're fairly obvious, sometimes they're not. On this one I have to say it looks an awful lot like the font Impact, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to create another layer here, and I'm going to type in Bunny Buggy. As you can see, that's too large, but that's alright. So we can now scale this down and make sure that that fits. As you can see, we're almost correct straight away, so we just got to do a few little modifications there. I'm just going to change the gap between the fonts like so it's a bit closer, and then I'll just scale that a little bit in. And I think that's probably about as close as we can get on that back sticker, but it does look pretty good. Ideally I'd like to try and find the exact font, but I don't know what that one is. But that's a good start anyway. So there's the first sticker done. Now we're going to move on to the side panel of Buggy Bunny, or Bunny Buggy, and see how we go about creating that. The side sticker is a little bit more complicated because it's a fairly awkward shape, but it still should be quite easy to do. What I normally do is, if it's a small toy like this one, I will scan it in on a flatbed scanner, which I've already done, and you'll end up with an image like this. As you can see, I've actually already made the sticker for this. I'm re-showing you how to do it. So what I do is I scan in the toy. It's a pretty rough image, but it gives you enough of an idea of the size and shape of the vehicle, and this has been scanned in at 300 dpi as well, so I know it if I work on top of this, this will create me the exact same shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crop this image down to be a bit closer to the little bit that I need, and I'm going to copy that layer and then just rotate it slightly so that we're working on a nice level shape like so. Now as you can see, I've obviously already created this sticker, so the shape is fairly easy for me to work out, but basically if I didn't have that version already there, I would just try and copy the shape from the original images that I have there in the background, my sort of reference images. So I'm going to create a new layer, and then just using the magic wand I'm going to gently sort of work my way around the shape of the vehicle and make a sort of selection that matches what I see on the reference images above, like so. On more complicated stickers this takes quite a long time. On something like this it shouldn't be too much of a job. So there we go. So there's a selection set now, and again looking at the reference images we can see that that is clearly the same blue that I've made for the Bunny Buggy background. So I'll just use the color picker to pick that same color, and then we can now fill that layer, and we have our sort of back plate in progress. Now on the original stickers you can see that there's a similar sort of black inner line, so I'm just going to remove that selection and then do a new selection using the magic wand, and I'm going to try and match the shape just by eye of the original one there, which shouldn't again be too complicated because you're just sort of following the shape of the pattern that you've already made. Like so. So there we have another selection, and now we need to fill that one with black to match the original colourings there. So that's the basic shape of that one done. Now we can also see that there are some initials at the bottom, which is a BB. So I'm again just going to use the colour picker to pick that red colour there off the original. Now I might modify that a bit, make it a bit more vibrant, because that sticker's pretty worn on the reference photo I have there. So we just make that a little bit more vibrant. Now I'm going to make a new type layer, and I'm just going to type BB in using the same font that I've already used for the bunny buggy logo on the back of it. And then I can just scale that down to fit, and that's already starting to look pretty close to the original sticker, so we just put that in place. Now probably the hardest bit on this is the bunny shape, but we're lucky because we already have a reference image for this little toy. So I'm going to just copy the small section of that original image that I managed to find, and then I'm going to paste it into the new sticker that I'm working on here. We just put a white background in there so it's easier to see what's going on. So there you can see the bunny that I've cut off of the reference image. Now I'm going to manipulate that and try and sort of line it up with the new sticker that I've made so far. So if I just use the distort function, I should be able to start distorting this image and trying to sort of line it up so that it's about the right sort of scale and proportion to the originals. You don't want it to be, it doesn't need to be perfect because you're actually going to redraw this. This is just a sort of reference sort of image to get it the right sort of shape. So we're going to do that. That looks about right to me. It seems to be matching up pretty well. It certainly looks quite good. So now I'm going to make a new layer, and on top of that I'm going to carefully trace around the bunny, again just with the selection tool. Like so. Now that we have that selection made, I can hide the layer beneath with my sort of reference thing, and then fill that layer, and we have a bunny that pretty much matches the original bunny. And I'm just going to move that around a little bit just to line it up. And I think there we have it. That's a pretty good representation of that original sticker there. So now I've just got to make the mirror version of that, because obviously the left hand side has the BB facing one way and the right hand side has the BB facing the other. So that's just a case of flipping this whole image and then flipping the two BBs so that they are back the other way. Then once I have all of the stickers made, I then compile them together onto one image that I can then print. So here we have the finished version of those images. As you can see, I've now made the left and right version, so you've got the BBs going each way and the bunny buggy back sticker there. Now all I need to do is to print this onto, I'm going to print this onto glossy sticky backed paper because I find that works best, especially for these pen erasers. If you're doing other toys like Star Wars toys, sometimes the matte paper looks better, but for pen erasers, glossy sticky backed paper is what I find looks best. And then once you've got it all printed out onto some glossy paper, you can apply it to your toy. As you can see here, this is the bunny buggy, the finished version, and the stickers fit pretty nicely. Quite often when you're making stickers like this, you'll have to do a few little versions and a few little tweaks as you go because things may not fit quite as you expected. But you know, normally with a little bit of practice, you'll find that you can start to get these things done sort of in one or two goes. Sometimes when you're making complicated sticker sheets, you'll have to do a lot of printing out and testing that they they fit onto the toy. If you take a look here at this vintage Micronauts Microtron, when I created the sticker sheet for that, as you can see here, there's quite a lot of stickers, and there's a lot of toing and froing, checking that things work and that they fit in the correct places. So what I've shown you today is a fairly simple bit of sort of sticker recreation. Obviously, when you come to do more complicated ones, they take a lot longer to do, and I would suggest trying to do simple ones first, because it's a good way of practicing. If you start with a really complicated sticker sheet, chances are it will go wrong, whereas if you're starting on something fairly simple like these pen erasers, it's a good way of practicing and testing that your sort of techniques will work and that you'll get a good result. So I hope this video has been of interest to you all, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter and Facebook.